What's up, guys? Grizzled Wizard here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm reacting to Dungeon Meshi for the very first time. This is it. Episode 24, the end of Season 1. This episode is called Dumplings Part 2, Bacon and Eggs. I like bacon and eggs. That's some classic breakfast for dinner right there. Still wrestling with their new forms, the crew must overcome the gargoyles. Later, they descend deeper into the dungeon. What monsters will they try next? The show has evolved so much, and we've gone to such different directions than I really expected from the beginning, and yet we're still so central to the theme of what are they going to eat next, you know? We're here to eat some monsters, and I love that we're still holding true to that 24 episodes in. The group getting transformed into all the various different races was really funny, and I'm glad that it's not over yet. We're carrying that over into this new episode here. If it had been a one and done, that would have been kind of sad, because I'm really enjoying it. And also, I'm loving the fact that we're finally fighting some gargoyles. I don't know if I've talked about it on the channel very much, but I'm a huge gargoyle collector. I've got a ton of gargoyles. When I was younger, I had a job working at a gargoyle statuary that had a full-blown foundry in the back, and they did their own sculpting and crafting of gargoyles. I got really into it. Fun fact about these gargoyles, technically they're grotesques. Any gargoyle that doesn't have a water feature, like draining runoff from a gutter, for example, a gargoyle on the edge of a building. Any gargoyle that doesn't have any sort of a water function is technically called a grotesque. Grotesque or gargoyle, these dudes are rad, and I want to see how they're going to fight them. Without further ado, let's dive in one more time to Dungeon Meshi. Let's go. Here we are. End of the road. And I finally did it. I turned down my screen brightness ahead of time. Only took me the whole goddamn show. We got there in the end. Also, I saw someone in the YouTube comments saying that the little walking mushroom is a plushie that's going to be available soon. I absolutely need that. Hopefully when you see me reacting to Season 2, I'll have that plushie in my hands. Senshi doing a cannonball into the soup is great. I don't know that I noticed that before. That's the cool thing about these intros, is that it's so busy, there's details that you notice for the first time, like every single time you watch it. So it never really grows stale. I recognize in some of the elves of the east in that big crowd shot. Or elves of the west, right? The samurai folks are from the east. Elves are from the west. Tall man Chill Chuck is good.
You mind slowing down a bit? The floor's full of gaps and it's hard to walk on.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
For once. It's hard for their little half-foot feet. Their little half feet.
There's something I've been wondering. In these bodies, what's the gap between our actual age and the age we look?
I'm 26 years old.
Senshi, now that he's a dwarf, how old does Laios look to you?
I would say around 60.
So okay, interesting. It gives you your equivalent age. That changes too.
I'm kind of worried about our remaining lifespan. Will we age at the rate we did before we transformed? Or will that change based on our new bodies?
That's a good point.
Hey, Marcel, if you think that doesn't affect you, you're wrong.
She didn't say anything.
You'll only live till about 50 years old. In less than 40 years, you're gonna get all old and wrinkly and then die.
There's some mad projection going on here, Chill Chuck.
Half his lifespan is that short? I thought they lived to 100!
There are some who live that long.
But it's pretty rare.
She's absolutely flabbergasted, thinking about mortality.
I'm only kidding.
Poor elf.
There are tons of people out there who would pay a fortune to become another race, but I've never seen this mushroom in the markets. It means the change is only temporary, or has some kind of awful side effect.
Or it only exists deep, deep down in the dungeon and no one's gotten here.
I thought about using the changelings for something, but I don't think it'd go well.
You want to be a demi-human, don't you?
No, that's not it. I was honestly thinking more in regards to Fallon.
What about her?
Oh, yeah, if you lead her through the mushrooms, what would she turn into? Could you revert her somehow with that?
I've learned my lesson.
That's how it's going to go down.
We returned to the surface. Man, that was really rough, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, she's not about to get accepted by the villagers.
I thought about hiding that part by putting her in a hole.
What?
However, a large monster can't survive in a human town with how thin the mana is.
She would need to remain in a dungeon.
Be able to live among humans anymore. Unless we use those mushrooms, we could change her lower half into another type of dragon that's smaller. And that way, Fallon could live in town after all!
How do you only change half of her, though?
So stupidly optimistic.
I won't deny wanting to change into something else, too.
There it is.
Tall men don't have any kind of special trait, which makes us plain. That's
Joe
so
Chuck,
boring.
do you hear something strange?
Just leaving him to rant.
From what I can tell, it actually sounds like it's getting closer.
It's the gargoyles.
The gargoyles found us!
They got rad designs, too. I love it. They're like very traditional Tuscany-looking gargoyles, but then they have like kind of a Japanese Oni face.
Let's set up an ambush and take them down.
Let's go.
But, Laios...
I'll draw them to me. Marcel, where are they?
I told you! They're right there!
Here we go. Ah! Gargoyle headbutt. Jesus. That would hurt so bad.
Watch out, everyone!
Now do you understand why I quickly run off and find a place to hide? You're clumsy no matter what body you're in, huh?
Hey, come on, man. Lay off. Jesus.
Where did this smoke come from?
They get released by the floorboard? What was that?
Are you two hurt?
No, we're fine.
You mind grabbing Kensuke for me?
Sure.
That's
Does it
Kensuke?
always look like this?
No,
There's mushrooms under the floor?
the smoke we saw was actually
changeling spores?
That's what I'm thinking. Kensuke looks way cooler now, by the way. Talk about a glow up.
Wait, so that means...
You became the mushroom circle. They have enough spores inside them to...
You guys! Grab each other's hands and make a circle right now!
That's not a circle, that's a line.
If my theory is correct, then the gargoyles should change into something else!
But what if that something else is even worse?
Come this way!
Come on, guys. They're all so discombobulated, no one knows how to use their own bodies. Jesus, Marcel! She's getting knocked around so much. Oh, okay.
Fly away anymore!
Come on, let's surround it!
It worked.
This is the gargoyle?
It really did change.
Into a giant coin? Is it a shield?
Oh, non-living things transform faster. Liars.
Are you okay?
Yeah, there was 2 gargoyles, guys.
Doesn't seem like it's gonna come down here.
No, he watched that happen to his friend.
Marcel?
Yeah?
What if we...
It should work.
What should...
Let's do it.
Right.
Oh no. They're gonna like chuck her, aren't they?
Let's go! It's making its move. You ready to do this?
She's not even touching the ground.
Take to the sky, Marcel!
That's an amazing face. Yes, it worked. We got him. This should be a sport.
Good riddance. It's kind of anticlimactic.
I'm glad they put a bucket there and tied it up.
You'll go back to normal.
I guess you can wash your
All it
hands
is
with
is
it.
water, so it's fine.
Look at their faces.
Kensuke, it's hard to believe that this is you now. Maybe it's a bit of a stretch to think the mushrooms were the cause of this. Will washing you change you back?
Maybe. I mean, if it changed the gargoyles, it transforms non-living things.
We have some leftover dumplings, so I'll be boiling those.
Really? Again?
Is there a problem with that?
I'm just kind of sick of them.
Sick of them?
Wish I could be that carefree.
Does not compute.
Heat some oil in a frying pan, then gently put the dumplings in.
Oh, hot.
Put a shirt on.
Tell me, what do you think?
You just fried them.
Huh? What if...
You transformed it?
It seems as though the mouth does indeed act as a changeling ring.
That's ridiculous. I love it.
Eating that makes mushrooms start sprouting inside our stomachs.
That didn't happen when we ate the hippogriff meat, thanks to digestion.
Izitsumi would be the one to have that concern, though. I get it.
It's ready.
Dumplings transformed by a changeling fairy ring.
There's barrel rats meat in this one.
Oh, lamb meat, huh?
Oh, no way!
I got cheese.
This one tastes sweet.
I can't figure out the meat in
I'd be so
mine.
nervous. Like, what if them has been transformed into something revolting inside, you know?
Hey,
The
keep
fuck
your
is this?
stupid legs out of my face!
They all transform back. He's way taller now.
What a lousy way to wake up!
Thank goodness.
I've never been happier.
Everyone was so unnerved by tall Chilchuck.
Change into lighter clothing first. It's pretty warm on this floor.
You know, this is the perfect temperature for creatures to breed in.
What do you mean by that, Senji?
I should have made some sausage to prepare for this kind of thing.
Can't do any breeding without sausage.
Using the red dragon meat?
Sadly, I lost all that.
That's so.
That's right. Oh, the dragon meat tragedy.
Why are you covering your sword with a cloth?
Because his sword didn't change.
What cloth?
Let me see it,
Come
Lyos.
on, God's just getting so big.
Let me see it now! So what should we do with them?
Oh, it's like sprouting mushrooms and everything.
You find anything?
All that's here is a strange building, but there's nowhere else to go.
What is this strange building? It looks kind of like clockwork steampunk something. It's all technological. It could be dwarvish.
It's probably an automated trolley. Let's go inside and have a look.
Izutsumi.
I doubt this thing works anymore.
Oh,
Why
it
is
does
it
work.
moving?
And we're off.
Senshi, what the heck did you do?
It wasn't me. This might be the kind of trolley that moves when people board.
Like a pressure plate activates it or something. Yeah, this is very different. I wonder where it's taking them. Clearly down further.
I don't really think any of this is going to help us.
Why? What does it say?
Well, I'm not sensing anything dangerous just yet, so why don't we try going as far as it'll take us? So I've been meaning to ask, why'd you and your sister become adventurers anyway?
Huh? It's a bit of a long story, but I got fed up with the people in my hometown. So I went to school, then joined the military. Unfortunately, I didn't fit in there either. At some point, I joined a passing merchant caravan.
Wait, he's a deserter?
Of course, that's Chilchuck's takeaway from this.
Fallon was living at the magic school in the area, so I stopped by just to see her, but she insisted on following me.
No, because she loved him so much.
When we first got here, gold stripping was prospering, which meant there was plenty of guard work. Us taking those jobs is what led to us entering this dungeon.
This is some great art, too.
Why did Fallon tag along?
Yeah.
I feel like her life would have been easier at school.
It was more important to her to be with her big brother.
If I'm being honest, Fallon's childhood wasn't great for her. She had a talent for magic, but was shunned for it. I
Oh.
got sick of living in that environment, so I left the village a year before she did.
That adds extra context to why she was so happy to eat that one meal with them after they rescued her before the transformation, you know? And she was so excited to eat monsters, too, with her brother.
What are you doing? Stop it!
Fallon, she would always pick up weird things and bring them to me, like strange smelling fruits or bits of grass and herbs. I never knew why she chose me specifically.
I bet she wanted to eat that stuff with you.
Oh, that's right, Itsuzumi. That's good job.
I wanna eat another good meal with her again.
I'm sure we will soon.
I think she can be saved. I think she can be saved. With this level of, grieving going on, I think we're going to have a happy ending.
If we're comparing souls to eggs like before.
Oh, here we go.
There's an egg on some bacon, and they're stuck together. However, it still seems possible to separate them cleanly. That's how I see Fallon.
It's true. She has 100% this and then 100% that. It's not like mix and match all over her.
Then what you're saying is, if we manage to cut off her lower half, then we'll be able to turn Fallon into a human again?
How do you cut off her lower half without killing her?
I made sure to preserve some of the dragon meat in order for us to eat it later. But all of it ended up turning back into flesh and blood, and fused with Fallon. However, there were parts of the meat that didn't return to the dragon, and that was everything we all ate for dinner that night. Meat digested by another creature loses its identity. So basically, if we ate the entire dragon, isn't it perfectly reasonable to assume that it would drive its soul away from Fallon?
That's pretty out there. Could that work?
Don't get me wrong, I'm still against reviving people. But as far as we've seen, Fallon is still alive. Your main focus right now is to find her and free her from the dungeon, isn't it?
It's not a resurrection, it's rendering aid, sure.
I'd be more than happy to help you out with that.
Eating the entire dragon.
Senshi's against resurrection magic, but not as much as he is pro eating a whole dragon.
How many servings do you think that is?
Why is that where your mind goes?
Because we need to know!
Because we
This is
need
the
to
best
know!
plan we've come up with so far.
Is it?
Do you have any better ideas?
I don't know if it's the best plan. It's certainly the most dungeon meshy plan.
If we each ate 1 kilogram a day,
Oh my
then
God.
it'd take over 10 years to finish the whole thing.
We don't have that kind of time.
Looks like we're gonna have to reach out to others for a little help then. It's time to call on all those personal connections you've been building up.
You make it sound like I have more than I do.
So you're going to throw a huge gala event to get everyone you know to help eat this dragon? If I was invited to something like that, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'll come help a homie out. Eat some dragon? Sure.
The orcs seem like they'd eat a lot, so that's promising. Golden Castle residents. And I think Namari and Shuro's parties would likely join if we appeal to their emotions.
This is going to be a huge
Oh,
group.
and there's Kabru too. He seemed interested in monster cuisine.
He was not. Poor Laios. He's so earnest.
Our goal from here on out's become crystal clear.
What about Mr. Tensu and the Island Lord? You can get them to help.
1. Release the winged lion. 2. We finally neutralize the mad mage.
Let's go.
3. Gather people who are willing to assist in eating Fallon's dragon parts.
Why do you got to say it like that?
It sounds like it's gonna be one hell of a party.
That's what I'm saying. This is going to be a good time, potentially.
What's this feeling of uneasiness?
The dungeon air's become pretty stagnant.
Okay, so now Namari, Kabru, and Shuro are together.
I don't think these are the kind of changes the folks behind us will like.
Oh. Oh, they're... Okay. They're leading the elves.
Don't you dare consume that! There's something going on up there.
That was a nice little full circle nod, the way she grabbed that, just like the first episode.
Or maybe a stew would be better. We could make stock from
That's
the...
enough!
Now's not really the time to be crafting a Fallon menu.
Come on. It's a long carriage ride. What do they want him to do?
To eat or be eaten. There is no hierarchy here. Ah, dungeon food.
Delicious in dungeon. To be continued. Let's go. Oh, man, I enjoyed this so much. So much. And just like that, we have the setup for Season 2. We're going down in this mechanical gondola. Who knows how deep it's really going to go. But we've got a plan moving forward, right? We're going to find the winged lion. Hopefully that's what's at the bottom of this gondola ride. Defeat the mad mage, rescue Fallon, and then throw a potluck dinner. Well, not a potluck, it's a buffet, right? Everyone's coming to eat Fallon's dragon parts, and I wish there was a better way to phrase that, but I don't think there is. I'm so invested. I'm so much more invested in this show than I ever thought I was going to be. I feel like this has opened up a lot of doors for me in terms of like entertainment that I consume. I've never really been huge into anime before, but like I need more of this. I need more of this now. Those of you who are better informed than I can weigh in the comments and let me know just how long of a wait I'm looking at here to get to Season 2. If that information is even out there. I assume somebody knows something. This was so much fun. I feel like I can identify very strongly with every member of this group in a very specific and different way, and that is very unique and special to me. The way Laios gets excited about weird, nerdy stuff, that is so me. I fully vibe with him on that level as well. Like I said, I can identify with every single character here. The voice cast is absolutely phenomenal for this. Every single character was so entertaining. I think Marcel is my favorite voice performance at this point. I can't remember which episode it was in, but when Fallon starts tearing her shirt and she's like, "Whoa, hey!" Like that sealed the deal for me. That sealed the deal in terms of like best voice performance in this whole thing. But everyone has been phenomenal. And in terms of the art direction, and just like the background art that we see, like absolutely gorgeous. Some phenomenal visuals in this, and I want to rewatch the show outside of reacting to it so I can pause every time there's an awesome vista, because I really want to just drink it all in. So really, like, seriously incredible artwork in this. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than I have thoroughly enjoyed this show. I can't wait for season 2. Please tell me it's coming soon. And I'll bring this up again, too. Someone said this in a comment on a previous video. Dungeon Meshi plushies are becoming available, like the little walking mushroom guy. I gotta have one. So let me know. Point me in the right direction for that, too. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I've really enjoyed this show. Hit me with some recommendations for anything that I can watch that is similar to this. I want more of these vibes. Just like cozy, wholesome adventures in the dungeon. Things can get a little scary sometimes, but like the show leaves me like feeling good every time. It puts me in a good mood. Even the sad episodes, kind of like I end up smiling by the end of it. And I think that's something that I really need right now. So I want more of this. Shout out to everybody who's been leaving helpful comments on these videos. I love learning more about the background and things about the manga and details that I would have otherwise missed about this show. I love learning things from you guys. So really so please keep the edification going. I want to learn everything that I can know about this in the wait up to season 2. There is more reactions coming on the channel. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. These reactions have been cut down to comply with fair use. You're getting like the 10-minute version here on YouTube. If you want the full uncut versions of all of these reactions, they're available on my Patreon page. There's a link in the description of the video here where you can check that out. Thanks again, and I will catch you in the next one.